16. Wyatt. That's actually incredible, Aurora admits, her eyes wide as she watches the video on her phone of Sawyer's most recent bull riding win, but also terrifying. I don't get how you stay on. Cherie's working at the bar tonight, so it's just Aurora with us three guys in our booth while Duke is behind the bar. I expect he'll join us for a drink later. You wouldn't think Aurora's only been hanging out with us for around a month now, with the way she slots so naturally into our group. Sawyer stretches his arms behind his head, relaxing back in the booth with a smug grin. Years of practice, baby. If working with Hensley doesn't drive you away before December, you can join the guys when they come watch me win the PBR World Championship. I almost miss the way Aurora gives me a side glance because I'm struck by the reminder that she might not be here forever. It feels weird given how she's become a part of my daily life. December is still months away, and there's always the possibility she could be gone before that. Her panic the other day when we were painting was a sobering reminder that she's not 100% keen on living in Willow Ridge permanently. Even if the retreat works, I have no doubt Aurora will miss England eventually. I know I would if it was the other way around. Yet the idea of her no longer being on the ranch, making my life more difficult, makes an emptiness hang in my chest. A very unexpected emptiness. I mean, for God's sake, I've gotten so used to being forced into morning yoga with her and the other ranchers now. It would be weird suddenly just to wake up and head out to work without her shouting different positions at me. I just don't like change, that's all. Sounds great? Aurora nods, a soft smile gracing her lips. Sawyer beams at her faint consideration. Did you always want to do bull riding, or did you want to pursue football like Wyatt? I just assumed as that's how you guys said you lot became friends. Sawyer shakes his head. Nah, I always had it planned that I was going to run off with the rodeo. Football was fun, but never endgame for me. What he doesn't say is he didn't even consider college, because it still meant coming back home to his dad for the holidays. The rodeo gave him an all-year opportunity to get away. Hey, Sawyer. A curvy brunette struts past the booth, giving Sawyer a wave, completely oblivious to the fact that she's walked right in front of Cherry, who was heading over with a tray. It's enough to dim the agony that was creeping into Sawyer's eyes, immediately perking him up that as he waves back, twisting to watch her. She settles in a booth with a few other women I recognize from high school, who are all smiling and batting their eyelashes our way. One of them, Lila, mouths bay to me, and I immediately look away, checking if Aurora has seen. But luckily she's facing Wolfman now. Not that she'd care. The way she jumped away from me when we fell in the paint the other day made it clear she doesn't plan to spend any more time on top of me, which is exactly how I should be feeling too. It's just hard when every time we're together we seem to end up all close, the little space between us a mix of her bright scent and our hot breaths. Cherry rolls her eyes when she reaches the booth, mumbling, I'm gonna make Duke ban these buckle bunnies one day. And what about you? Aurora asks Wolfman. He grins as if it's a silly question. Oh, I still like to play, but being a coach means I get to shout at kids and tell them what to do as opposed to actually doing it myself. It's great. I thought you did it for the hot moms. I jab. He runs his fingers through his hair. I forget you guys know about that now. It was a low point in my life, but to be fair, she did have massive... Oh my God. Aurora yells, thankfully cutting Wolfman off, bouncing in her seat. Cherry almost drops the tray of glasses she's been stacking. Oh, this is like my favorite. Song, please, can we dance? She tugs on my shirt, eyes bright and imploring. I cock my head to listen out for the song, expecting it to be some silly pop number, but it's Stand By Me by Ben E. King, which immediately humbles me. Still, I don't budge even when Aurora's climbing out the booth, humming along to the intro. She holds out her hands to us all. Sure. Wyatt loves dancing, Wolfman declares, nudging me with an elbow. I shoot him a scowl before turning back to Aurora. Not a chance. I laugh and pick up my tumbler, taking a sip. There's a reason the dance floor in Duke's is practically non-existent in size. This is a drinking bar, not a dancing bar, save for the odd night with a bit of live music. But even then, rarely do people feel compelled to start jumping about. And that's how I like it. Chilled. Not making a fool of myself. Aurora pouts, pressing her fists to her hips. That childish little face she makes always has my eyes rolling. Fine, Cherry, you'll dance with me, right? Girl, I would if I wasn't working, she says, bumping her hip to Aurora's. Aurora looks behind her, towards where Duke is at the bar. She cups her hands around her mouth as she yells across the room, making the rest of the customers turn to her. Hey, Duke, you don't mind if Cherry dances with me for one song, do you? Duke's eyes widen as he freezes mid-wiping a glass. There's no way he's going to say no, he's way too reserved to get into a shouting match with Aurora across the bar. And I honestly don't think he'd care enough whether Cherry was working or not. She seems to get away with murder around him. Duke darts his eyes between the two girls, then he shrugs and shakes his head. Cherry bites her lip, holding in a grin as Aurora grabs her hand and drags her off towards the dance floor, leaving the tray of glasses on our table. Sawyer shoots me a wink, then knocks back the rest of his whiskey, sliding out the booth as he shouts, "I'm coming too, Red." Once they're on the dance floor, Sawyer holds both girls' hands, spinning them about. Taking in turns, he lets each girl roll into him, giving them a little sway before swinging them back out. There's so much joy radiating off them, and it's all down to Aurora. Just like the rising morning sun, she has a beautiful way of lighting up everything around her. It should piss me off, the fact that Sawyer's touching my little sister. But truthfully, that's not what's got my blood rushing, or my knuckles whitening around the tumbler I'm clenching way too hard. No, it's the fact that he's also touching Aurora, and up until now, I'd been the only guy in Willow Ridge blessed to know how she feels in my hands, even if it has been accidentally. I can't stop focusing on every time their bodies brush, every time they smile at each other, every time Aurora places a hand on his chest. Can't stop gawking at how goddamn sexy Aurora looks when she dances, even when she's just being silly, because she's so bright. And golden when she's being her true self. The way her right black dress shows off her ass as her hips sway. The muscles in her legs working as she moves, her copper waves shining under the lights like a flickering bonfire. It's all too much. I don't care that it's Sawyer. It wouldn't matter who it was dancing with her, and that's the problem. A few weeks ago, I would have done anything to get rid of her, happily palm her off into another guy's arms, so she'd maybe leave me and my ranch alone. But now my whole body is tense. I'm unable to rip my stare away from them, and my stomach is churning. You should go dance with her, Wolfman suggests nonchalantly, not looking my way. Nah, I'm good. I pick up my whiskey, trying to relax back into the booth, so it doesn't look like I'm being a jealous, glowering idiot. I focus on the alcohol burning my throat, hoping it will chill out whatever feelings are surfacing right now, whatever feelings I don't really have a right to feel. Funny. Wolfman perks a brow at me. I just assumed you'd want to, given it looked like you were about to pop a vein scowling at them. I clench my teeth, then retort, maybe it's because Sawyer's got his hands on my little sister. Woltman just shrugs and cases back into the seat, but he's failing at hiding the shitty ding grin plastered across his face. You don't really care about that right now, though, do you? I sigh and wipe my face. I need new friends who don't know me so well that they can figure out everything I'm feeling before even I do. No doubt that's why Sawyer winked too. God damn, have I been that obvious? Does Aurora know too? I thought I'd fought back these feelings well enough. Taking in a deep breath, I shoot a look at Wolfman, and he angles his beer towards the dance floor. I make it seem like it's taking every ounce of effort to lug myself out the booth and over to the dance floor, when really my pulse is racing the nearer I get to her. They pause when I reach them. Cherry's eyes widen before her face settles into a knowing smirk at how I'm offering my hand to Aurora. Sawyer lets go of Aurora, giving her a soft nudge towards me, and her eyes sparkle as they meet mine. The dim lights make her cheekbones glisten, and her cheeks flush pink. Aurora's hand slips into mine, electricity sparking from the touch. I pull her towards me, sliding one arm around her waist, noting Sawyer do the same with Cherry beside us. But I don't give another thought to my sister when Aurora's warm body presses into mine, and her hand trails up over my shoulder, fingers brushing against my bare neck, leaving fire in their wake. Honey brown eyes twinkle up at me, and her fingers pulse in mine as I start to sway us from side to side. I have no idea how to dance and probably look like a goddamn robot, but I think I might be able to endure it given how brightly Aurora is beaming at me right now. I think I might be able to endure a lot more for her. "Hi," she whispers. "Hi," I say back, eyes dipping to where she's caught her, bottom lip between her teeth. I shouldn't be looking at her lips for so long. Sparks dance behind the hazel eyes staring back at me. I'm not sure I can hear the music anymore, just my heart rattling in my chest. I thought coming over here would rid me of all those feelings, yet now I'm just drowning in even more of them. I abruptly spin Aurora around, breaking the contact between our bodies briefly, giving me a second to compose myself. She gives a little squeal of delight before stumbling back into me, hand returning to my neck, this time brushing up and down. "Thanks for dancing with me. Thought I'd save you from Sawyer's terrible dance moves?" "Right," Aurora nods, rolling her lips. And then she does the worst possible thing and rests her head against my chest, right where my eagle tattoo spreads out. The reminder that I'm happier when I'm free is torturous, because if I truly let myself do what I wanted right now, then I'd be dragging Aurora back to the truck and straight to the ranch, so no one else can touch her but me. I can barely move. My body is so tense. What if she hears how hard my heart is beating? My hand is splayed across the small of her back, thumb stroking the delicate curve of her waist. I've never felt so much of her for so long before, pressed against me everywhere, and it's overwhelming. The citrus scent from her hair takes over my senses, giving me that same shot of dopamine that her silvery laugh does. I want to nuzzle my head into her, but that would be weird because she's barely my friend, she's my business partner, who is going to leave eventually. It's then that I see a flash of familiar blonde hair enter the bar on the arm of a man in a suit. My gut twists, as it's just another reminder that I can't be greedy with my happiness, that nothing lasts forever, that realistically, I'm not the kind of guy someone as accomplished and ambitious as Aurora would consider. I'm just Wyatt Hensley. I'm barely her friend. I'm her business partner, who panics and leaves before the song ends.